What is up? Uh, this is part two of me getting more comfortable in front of a camera and speaking my mind. It's right before my leg day workout right now. I want to say it's like 5 p.m. Had to run around, do a couple errands before I got started, and I wanted to make an effort to try to make a video on Wednesday and see how consistent can I make it, really? How consistent can I make it? So if y'all don't mind, even though no one's watching, other than me, just remember, this is what I'm sipping on right now. As a pre, it's not the best for you, but certainly not the worst. Remember that. But shit, talking about pre, I go on and off pre. Like, I go on and off taking caffeine for workouts because you can definitely build a caffeine tolerance, just how you can build up a tolerance to almost any stimulant. I mean, if you take it often enough. So I usually go in phases. There were times like when I first started working out and I really started building my tolerance, I didn't really realize that I was building my tolerance. I mean, I was going all the way up to double, triple scooping, make sure I was getting like 500, 600 milligrams caffeine, like enough to kill a small child, and it was just very unhealthy. And over time, I mean, I was noticing that my gains were going, and I mean, it was still keeping me awake and energized during my workout, but definitely the side effects of caffeine, acne, and feeling a crash, fatigue over an extended period of time when you do start to build that tolerance is taking it often, definitely faced all those systems. So had to cut that out. But now, because I don't like legs and I need something to get me up and at least get this jump start for the first couple super heavy leg days, then it's gotta be the caffeine. Has to be. But shoot, I'm gonna work out. I hate legs, but the purpose I'm doing it is that I'm trying to be much nicer at my snowboarding skills and my agility on controlling my snowboard. So, as odd and stereotypically Caucasian that sounds, I'm a crazy ass snowboarder. I wouldn't say I'm definitely not the best, but I'll definitely bust my ass and do something crazy. So, I mean, I'll live it up on the mountain as best as I can. So, I'm trying to improve myself really during this off season, which I've never really kind of focused or made it a thing to try to focus on improving my snowboard skills off season, other than this is the first year, because shoot, I mean, I'm not playing a sport. All I'm doing is engineering work, electrician work. I mean, writing a couple raps here and there, but like, I mean, that's not like I'm on a sport team or anything. And that's definitely one thing I kind of miss about always being a part of a team that does have an active season, is that even when you're off season, I mean, you're still working. It's 24/7. It's just you don't see the immediate goal, but all of the prerequisites and all of the prior skills needed to reach that goal, all of that happens during off season. So here I am. So I mean, not only that, I also got this thick rug so I can start practicing my 180s and 360s more. I'm doing 180s, not 360s, because every single time I end up twisting way too much and then end up busting my ass. And I'm not even on the snow. I'm on a carpet. Who can think? So good thing I'm practicing now and then instead of doing it later. So that it is what it is. But why focus so much on snowboarding when it's fall and I live in the desert and it's hot as hell, and I got engineering work to figure out and make sure I have money in my pocket and food in my refrigerator. So there's a lot of other things I've been focusing on. I've been focusing a lot more on my engineering work recently, these past few weeks, than I really have with my electricians and handyman work, only because I'm starting to notice that I'm at a point within college, or at least within my engineering school, where all of my courses are very specific to the discipline that I'm studying, and there's not too many There's not too many topics or lectures that I can kind of blank out and skip or feel like it's not mandatory, because I'm at the part where all the people that said they really wanted to be engineers or said that they were going to do it either dropped out, switched majors, left school, whatever, etc. But now they're not here. So everyone that actually is here to try to get their degree. So I mean, all of this information is necessary. So I found myself really having to lock in a lot more recently, because naturally, I'm an okay student, but I wouldn't say I'm the best, and I don't think I have maybe the so-called perfect study habits, but I work my ass off to make sure I can remember what I can remember and understand what I can understand, rather than it going one ear in and out the other. So I just gotta do what I can. This is one thing I gotta focus on. It hurts because I would much rather be outside, and not have to worry about differential equations or coding a new electric skateboard or anything like that, and actually go up and make some more money without having to see all of the stuff where I don't even see the goal. I mean, I'm completing homework problems, but I mean, no one's giving me $100 after. I mean, shoot, unless Lockheed Martin's trying to lock me in, but that's not really my vibe. I don't think I'm gonna make weapons after college. Be cool though, but not me. Not gonna fit that stereotype. But in terms of that, I'm logging in more with schoolwork, but I don't know. There's always a part of my mind where it's like I don't necessarily want to, and I know that's not just me. I know that it has to be a lot of college students, and this is probably the reason why many college and university students today end up switching their major, end up feeling that college is not mandatory for their life, and end up leaving or anything like that, because it's very hard to see the quote-unquote light at the end of the tunnel, which is quote-unquote your degree, when starting going through college, because there are the road to get a degree, any degree, I'm not just saying engineering, any degree, the road to get a degree if you're going through college is a is imagine it's a straight line. But it's every single couple feet there's a left turn, and every couple feet there's a right turn, and that left turn can take you to a party, that right turn can take you to another state. You go a couple more feet, left turn can take you to family issues, right turn can lead you to a new girlfriend, new boyfriend, lead you to a new relationship, fuck you up, have you leave the school. You go a couple more feet, I mean, you can go the left turn is, and guess what, you actually found a really good paying job, and you don't feel like that is mandatory to keep doing this college education, and you make a right turn, and all of a sudden you're owing back X thousands of dollars back to whatever university you went to. So it's definitely hard when you see all of those turns and all those alternate routes that you could fall in or voluntarily go for when you're doing all this work, and it's very easy to just feel like, you know what, like, why do I have X amount of dollars up in my statement that says I need to pay all this, or like, why am I struggling so much with this math when it's not paying me, when I'm doing a great job right now working at an average man's salary? Like, why? Or sorry, above average man's salary. Like, why? Like, why go to college? And I would say that's when all of that information kind of adds up to the fun debate question of, is college a scam? In a sense, I mean, again, it's not necessarily a scam. We live in the world today. I mean, there are so many other routes that you can be successful and make money and own a property and have a family and live with them with no issues for 50 plus years and not be required to go to college. You don't need to have a business degree in order to start a business. Just a heads up, y'all. But is it necessarily a scam? I mean, I feel like if you're it's a lot harder to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like definitely, no matter what, statistically speaking, if you get a college degree, I mean, you're more likely to get paid more for your salary compared to someone with only a high school diploma. But that's just statistics, and sometimes causation doesn't, or what was it, correlation doesn't always mean causation. Causation doesn't mean correlation, but that phrase. But at the same time, another statistic is that majority of people that get their degrees, I want to say it's somewhere around 50% that end up getting their lifetime career job, and they don't use their degree. So it depends. I mean, shoot, if you're gonna be a doctor, you better have that damn doctor's degree. There's no way other way around it. I mean, if you're gonna be an engineer and you want to build a bridge that's not gonna collapse the moment that a boat hits it on accident, then you better have your freaking degree and make sure you're not using ChatGPT for all of your calculations. So it's important. But college can seem like a scam to the people who are working on these degrees that see so many viable opportunities that they can take up out in the real world rather than being locked in for another 5-6 years when, say, they already kind of have an idea of what they want to do. I mean, if I wasn't studying engineering right now, I would not be in college because I don't feel like it's necessary. I mean, now engineering will allow me much more opportunities in my field of interest that I will not have if I don't get an engineering degree. Although I do have a lot of accessible options that I could have been very happy and proud of choosing as my career if I didn't go to college. And I know that there's a lot of other kids that have that exact same situation that they're facing. So it's hard to think about. I don't usually talk this much just all the way to myself, so I mean I might lose my train of thought a little bit, but it's if you see more opportunities out in the real world, and then college may not benefit you. It's not. Obviously, if you find another way, or if you find a better way that you prefer to live your life, I mean, shoot, bro, do it. No one is stopping you. But I know that I'm here to complete this engineering degree, so I can be allowed to have different opportunities because I love vehicles. I know that it's going to be mandatory for people or for a lot of these companies to be building more electric vehicles, and I know so many people hate that, and I want to change that. I want to change that stigma so much of how electric vehicles is in a driver's car, and I know that's going to be hard. But with that being my interest, I can only be in that type of industry that fixes that problem or handles that stigma with an engineering degree. So it is what it is. If I did get an engineering degree, then I just couldn't. I would still be doing residential. I would still be doing renewable energy. Still be doing solar panels. Still be amazing. But yeah, the electric vehicles and maybe large scale renewables for commercial property. No, it's not gonna happen. It's just you got to do it. You got to get it done. But again, I don't think college is a scam. But one thing I do think is that I think it's way too damn expensive. I think if I think there would be so many more kids that wouldn't be opposed to be going to college if it wasn't just so damn expensive, which obviously doesn't make sense at all. I currently live on the Polytechnic campus of ASU, so I am not on the main campus, and the reason for that being is that my tuition is significantly reduced. So compared to living on the main campus, where their average tuition is around $55,000, out here it's just low tens. Unless, I mean, if you're gonna get room and board and do a whole bunch of extra stuff, then it can add up too. But low tens, and even that is still like damn, like It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, it's forcing. I mean, it's good because it's forcing me to make sure I'm not just stuck in here and I'm working, so I can go and pay Michael Crow back. So I'm not gonna be on a commercial in 4.5 years, being like, oh my god, like I'm $85 million in debt, and Uncle Sam needs to hook me up. That was one thing I didn't want to do. Definitely not. So this is the long term. This is the smart. Is the smartest decision. I mean, I definitely wish I was on the main campus just because it's more lively and because the no and because what, it's more lively. That's it. There's people, there's women, there's there's bars. I mean, shoot, there's parties. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's just fun out there. That's all I'm missing. I'm just missing living around the fun, which, I mean, in a sense, looking back now that this is my third year and I'm getting ready to complete my degree, is that, shoot, if I was on the main campus my first year and stayed there throughout the whole time, I mean, shoot, I may have dropped out. Or at least switched majors, because I mean, one, I'm way too extroverted. uh, I'm naturally extroverted. So I mean, if I'm around people, I mean, I'm a socialize, and I mean, I love going out to party and have a good time and mingle and network with people. So I mean, definitely, if I was out in the main campus and being around with all of that crazy TikTok social media activity, I don't know if I can make it. So being over here where it's nice and quiet and everyone that I live around is smart as F and can hook me up with some of my coding if I need help, or some of my camera if I need help. It's just nice. I mean, I've been out to the main campus during the day. I mean, it's just way too packed. It's way too big. And then and it makes me think, I'm like, wow, like all of these kids are really paying 50 plus whatever in order to be on this campus, like for what? For the experience. and I guess that's valid, and because everyone wants to try to live the college experience that you see in the movies that your parents and stuff were telling you. But I think it's just way, I wouldn't say overrated, but it's just kind of blown out of proportion, where now the college life has really overtaken the academia life of these students. And now it's just so many distractions, which is why it's so easy to drop out. And it's not like anyone within college is trying to help you to stay away from those distractions. I mean, they want everyone on the main campus and get effed up and black out and then miss their quiz and then they drop out, and then that means ASU gets to keep the extra 40 grand in their pocket because you still didn't get their degree. So that's a lose on them. I mean, lose on you. So the distractions is just too much. You just need to watch it. Just need to watch it. So I'm just take it one day at a time and try to finish my work and get my degree as fast as possible. I mean, I care about the college experience, and again, like I wish I was on the Tempe campus in my first year, but my goal has always been to be in and out, get in and out. I mean, I'm here in order to access new opportunities, which in electric vehicles and renewables. Get me a job and let me live a nice life with a different career that I wouldn't necessarily thought of when I was a child. Who would have thought? But the decisions that I have made by staying over at Poly and making sure that my study habits are down with the smart peers that are around me, because out in Tempe, most of those people cannot help me. Then I think I'll be fine. Now, it's my fault. When I look back over this, I'll understand that I've just kind of been talking my ass off, and a lot of this stuff isn't gonna make sense. But I mean, if it was manageable enough to follow along, then I'm grateful. Let's see. What's one last thing I can say to close it. I had a thought. Say this and then I'm gonna go to the gym and record another day. I just watched the Amy Winehouse 2015 documentary. I mean, I was gonna watch that new movie that came out, but I read the reviews. They just said it wasn't accurate. They said watch the documentary if you really want to get a full scope of her life and her career. And I was genuinely interested. Amy Winehouse was a singer in the early late 2000s that my sister Sophia loved. I mean, she used to play Amy Winehouse a lot. Or I wouldn't say that she loved, but I can always recall whenever we were doing chores, washing dishes, or anything within the house, preparing the kitchen so my mom can make food later at night, that Amy Winehouse was on pretty often. So always having that, like, what kind of Marion, like, that has always been in my head. So after watching it and just seeing her career unfold and her life unfold and progress ultimately all the way up until her fortunate passing, that there's just not much care. I feel like in music nowadays, or at least mainstream. That's it. Because I know there's millions of different artists out there that I've never even heard of or can think of that are probably making amazing music, but just Apple Music and Spotify just aren't streaming them. And one thing, like when I was watching Amy Winehouse, I mean, she just had such a unique voice and put care and meaning and story behind her songs, and that was just not something that I hear too often today. And after watching that, I mean, it got me thinking. I mean, it's not just, I mean, it sucks that we lost Amy Winehouse. And I mean, if she grown up, I mean, she was growing up in the time where like Taylor Swift was big, Beyonce was big, Rihanna was big. I mean, but I mean, Taylor and Rihanna like weren't at their max yet. Rihanna was pretty big, but like if she was riding out that fame train with Taylor for the next decade or so, oh my gosh, today she would have been world famous. Would have been world famous. But yeah, I mean, you just don't hear so much of that anymore. I mean, listening back to old Kanye hits different because I get so disappointed because I'm like, this sounds nothing like what you make today. And I wonder just kind of when did the industry kind of switch in terms of, instead of trying to make the most beautiful and unique original sounding music, like how can you make it to be the most consumable to the masses, and how can you make masses of music and distribute it all at the same time, which I feel like is just saturated and it's just too much. It's just too much. I mean, it's just sad. I mean, people used to say, oh yeah, like back in 2013, people were like, damn, I miss the old Kanye. And they were talking about graduation, late registration, and the college dropout. And then 2018 came and they were like, damn, I miss the old Kanye. And they were talking about Yeezus, Life of Pablo, and 808s. Or sorry, scratch that. It's really My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, 808s, and Yeezus. And then come the Donda, and they're like, dang, I really miss Life of Pablo. And then come the Vultures, and everyone's like, dang, I miss the old Kanye. Literally Donda and everything else. So it's like that line, that threshold of old Kanye just kind of keeps getting pushed further and further as he makes more outrageous and drastic decisions. But I mean, let's say one thing about Kanye. One thing about Kanye is like, man, one thing that made him so big, and I think that kind of kept him up for like until like the late 2000s, was that, I mean, him saying what he was saying, just be so outspoken and outrageous in the public eye, has just caused his name to be in so many families' homes. But the one difference between, I mean, he's still doing it today, but the one difference between today and say back in 2016 or 2017 is that everyone would be like, oh shoot, like Kanye spazzing out, you know we about to get like some good music. Like, oh shoot, Kanye just came up and told Taylor Swift that Beyonce should have won. Oh, you know it's about to be a good album. You know it's about to be a good album. But now he's just talking crazy, and then he puts out crazy music, and it don't count like that. It don't count like that. It really sucks. It really sucks. I mean, going to other rappers, I mean, it's just like you don't. Everything is just so
disconnected.
Sorry, that's my Temu speaker. He got It was just so raw back then, and nowadays everyone tries to sound the same, which is weird. Back then, in terms of rap, like in terms of hip hop culture, it used to be where it was like the only way you're getting big or the only way that you can rap out in public is that you need to have your own style. You need to bring your own flavor into what you were saying. Like the last thing that you would be accepted for was if you stole someone else's flow. No one like that. The whole point was to be original, be creative, and push the boundary, and just not try to avoid this oversaturation that we're facing today. And I mean, that's how you get so many different. That's how you get so many different sounds from freaking a Tribe Called Quest to Eminem to Mobb Deep all the way up to Outkast. Like you just hear so many different because no one wants to sound the same. You want to be original. You want to push the boundary. And nowadays, it's like if someone pushes the boundary, it sounds different. It's looked down upon or it's weird. And it's a shame that I feel like the music culture in a way is kind of like dying like that, or at least slowing down. Which I'm sure it'll be rejuvenated by some lively soul. It comes around every couple of years because I know people still care and people still have love for music, but again, I mean, it just doesn't hit the same anymore. I mean, the XXX used to make a whole bunch of just like rage music and saturated music, and the moment that he really kind of put out something with, I mean, 17 had meaning, but like the moment where, I mean, Question Mark was big because a lot of songs had meaning. The whole album had meaning. It left you thinking, and not only did it leave you thinking, not every track sounded the same. And you can tell that it was coming not only Question Mark, but 17. You can tell that both of those albums were coming from a place in his mind that he's really trying to speak for himself. And once he made that, gone, done. And you're like, damn. Because we would have loved to see the progression of X too, because he could have made some meaningful stuff. I mean, shoot, Drake used to have some passion and some heart into his music too. Now he's rapping the same thing, right? Money, fake ghetto, maybe a son, maybe not, and more hoes and more mansions, and just back to back, like with like the laziest features. And I don't understand like how he can't listen back to his old stuff and be like, damn, like I gotta get back to making music that I like and making lyrics that the enthusiasts would appreciate. As corny as that sound, but I mean, there's enthusiasts in this game. Like, people care. Shit, I care. So many other people are just so distracted on just like hearing such hard bass and 808s all the time, and trying to hear about how many times you can say nigga, or how many times you can hear, oh, I'm gonna fuck your hoe, and no one ever like raises the eye question mark, be like, hold on, like that was the last dude's flow, that was this dude's flow. Well, you just stole the verse from so and so. This beat sound just like a Moneybagg Yo type beat. Like, be original, push the boundary, and I don't know. It just got me thinking. I don't know why the fuck I was talking so long. But I gotta go. This fucking Kevin. I gotta go. Gotta go work out. So if one thing I can leave you with, I'll read it from my board. This quote is from Daft Punk that I wrote on my board earlier. You don't even make sense. But look, you just got to do it now. Don't wait and live it. Leave it. Live the prime time of your life. Hear that with some like electric guitar synth, but like sounds like really raw and nasty, and like a robot sandals lyrics. But yeah, live the prime time of your life. Make every single day nostalgic and memorable. I will see myself again soon. Stay safe.